Lewan, how are you?
Okay, I love the intro. Every time I see that intro, it just takes me down memory lane, baby, and I love it. I love how you say Pro Bowl left tackle for the Tennessee Titans as if I'm not unemployed, but I love it. Let's keep living the dream as if I am playing.
Well, I feel like you have, people always still think you are playing, and you haven't truly closed that window in enough of a way that I saw Phillip Rivers yesterday, and I was like, you're coming back, right? I just want my favorites to still be out there doing their thing. That's just how I feel.
I think it's so comical when I'm on Twitter and I see people tag me. It's like, we should get Taylor Lewan in free agency. And I'm thinking, I'm 258. I ain't blocking nobody right now. Not a person, just talking about it.
A couple trips to Shake Shack and we can turn that thing right around. All right, Cowboys. Listen, you glued your ass, your actual bare buttocks, thank you, to the front seat of the roller coaster that is the Cowboys. And you did that, my friend, in August, September-ish, okay? You did that before Spooktober even happened. And you said, I'm going to ride or die with this team. And oh my goodness, what they did to the Eagles last night, handing them one of these in all aspects of the game. The defense forces 3 turnovers. They were hitting 60-yard field goals. Mwah. Dak went off again. What was the most impressive part of that performance to you?
I think the most impressive part is Dak's consistency of just throwing a great ball. I think he's had 7 games in a row with multiple touchdowns. The guy is truly putting himself as a MVP front runner right now. And so we actually had this conversation, I think, when Dallas lost to the 49ers the way they did. And I said, listen, we got to take them out of the media a little bit, let them regroup, let them get going. Now it is time to jump on the bandwagon, the Dallas Cowboys, and be like, this team is legit. They are real. I don't know if it says more about the Cowboys or the Eagles dropping 2, but legitimately, I think it's 49ers are number 1 team in the league, then the Cowboys, and then the Eagles.
And Jerry Jones said yesterday Dak Prescott needs to start giving love after this huge win. Over FanDuel, he's got the best odds, right? He's leading the MVP situation on FanDuel. You are saying the Niners, what do the Cowboys have to do to sort of beat them? Because, I would say the Cowboys are the hottest team in football. They've won, 7 of their last 8. Why are they behind the Niners?
I think when it all comes down to strategic football and how you handle certain situations in football, whether it's 2-minute, 4-minute, we've talked about it so much on this show and it's such a boring topic, but those are the little small details that get you over the hump. From a talent standpoint, they're not far behind the 49ers, but I think the 49ers are a better team from a talent standpoint and from a coaching standpoint of knowing what to do and when to do it situationally through football or during the game. It's just they're ahead of them in that situation. When they see each other in the playoffs, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a dogfight, depending on where they're playing is a different story. But it's going to come down to knowing situational football and being able to operate. Dak is operating at an extremely high level right now. But we've seen a couple of years ago, they run a draw at 15 yards and the clock runs out in a playoff game. You can't have that kind of stuff. You can't do that, especially when it comes to the playoffs.
The big story, let's get to it. You're saying, let's leave the boring Cowboys alone, let the boring Eagles alone and all of that. Let's go to this Chiefs-Bills situation, okay? Offsides, Kadarius Toney, Patrick Mahomes. Very unhappy about this. Very unhappy with the officiating. Then there's this exchange with Josh Allen. Take a listen.
Loudest call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Fucking terrible.
What did you make of that?
Here's what I make of that. If my kid does something wrong and a parent comes to the door and starts chewing me out about my kid doing something wrong, I'm getting in that parent's face. I'm letting them know, hey, F you, don't talk to my kid like that, this, that, and the other. Now, we talk about situational football. If you're in a 2-minute situation and you're running, you're going no huddle, and you guys are getting on the ball fast, pointing, and playing the game, then I think that call should not happen. However, clock is stopped. There's 12 seconds on the clock or on the play clock when they snap the ball. This is Kadarius Toney. That is 100%. That's on him. That's terrible. It should have never happened. Because all you got to do, okay, look at this. All you got to do, I'm going to get real low for you.
Okay.
I'm lined up like this. Give a point. Oh, no. All right. Now I'm back. And just like that, everything gets fixed. And one of the coolest plays we've ever seen in regular season history, we're clapping about it. Because literally, this is a situation where we see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce doing everything they possibly can to win a football game and being held back by the wide receiving core. And I do not like the way that came out of my mouth because I hate putting the boys under the bus, but it's tough. Kadarius had a tough one against the Lions in the first week of the season. Now this, it's just hard. It's just really, really tough, you know?
And there's the MVS part of it. So why is he complaining about the officiating and not saying, like, Josh? First of all, I was asking you about the exchange. I've just never seen anything like that. I've never seen, and I love Patrick, and I think it just speaks to, like, that's not Patrick. Like, what's going on in this moment that he sees Josh Allen and is like, not like, good game, man. Like, and he just instead like, what? And Josh is like, okay, cool, see you. Like, see you. It's just weird. It's a weird moment. This is the worst effing
call I've ever seen. Yeah, but you know, Josh and Pat, they seem like they have a great relationship. They go golfing all the time in the off season. If I'm Pat, if I'm like reviewing Patrick Mahomes and how he handled that situation, I'm not mad at him at all. I don't think he's a baby. I don't think he's a loser for it. I think that is how I would have reacted. I would have been just as mad, and I would have been walking across that other sideline telling anybody and everybody how that was the wrong call and it shouldn't have happened. Now you get behind closed doors, you know, they're probably sitting in a team meeting today and they're going, "There's, dude, you can't, that's ridiculous. You just can't do stuff like that. That's bad ball. That's terrible." But the exchange, that doesn't bother me one bit.
I mean, you're usually not for the officiating, and you seem to think it should have been called. Okay, that's
based on the circumstances. Yeah, if the clock is running and you're in 2-minute situation, there should be some leniency when it's like guys in the neutral zone, guys a little off the ball or on the ball. But in this situation, the clock's up. Everybody has time to set up. Everybody can look to the official and say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm good." And then obviously in Kadarius' situation, back up. It gets fixed, but yeah, that's bad on the player. But and I hate siding with the refs.
Well, he's done that. We know. Very much so documented on this program. What's going on with the Chiefs, in your opinion? They've dropped 3 of their last 4. Mahomes is frustrated, of course, about this, but it seems there's a lot going on here. Things are boiling over. You have the Kadarius thing, you've had the MVS thing, like that. Is it, what's going on there?
I think it's a lack in the wide receiver room. I mean, Pat is a generational quarterback. He's the baby GOAT. Travis Kelce is, going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Offensive line's gotten better year over year. The defense is outplaying the offense for the first time since Patrick Mahomes has been a starter. It really is. I think they're missing a key piece of being able to lean on more guys than just Travis. And that's the hard part. They're finding ways to win. They're going to make the Pro Bowl or make the playoffs, but it's just they're not the same Chiefs right now. But they're just not that.
So what's the difference from last year? Because it's the same personnel as last year, and they won a Super Bowl. So like it's the same story of like he didn't have receiver, but last year it worked. So they had Juju. Juju was an 800-yard receiver. I don't think like the difference between last year and this year is Juju Smith-Schuster, respectfully.
Yeah, it's a great point. I just think something's fallen apart in that wide receiver room where maybe we're getting lackadaisical. I really don't have the answer in that situation other than that they have to play better and they have to step up because you see Pat, you see Travis, they're doing everything they can possibly do. And they've had a lot more media attention on them since the whole Taylor Swift situation. But I don't think that's a team that goes to the Super Bowl every single year. I think they'd be able to handle that type of media coverage.
Yeah, the Lions get rocked by the Bears, 28-13. I couldn't even believe that. And now I'm like, what's going on, Dan? Because they've dropped 2 of their last 3. Like, are the Packers going to win the division? All of a sudden, Dan Campbell is starting to hear the noise surrounding his team. Listen to Dan.
I know that everybody's trying to grasp straws like, what are we? What is this? I'm not worried. I know exactly what we are. We're a team that'll fight, and we got to do things right. Because any little mistake, man, it throws us off now. That's just the type of team we are. And but we got plenty here. We got plenty, and we do things right. We're pretty damn good. So we'll get it cleaned up, man. We'll move on.
Who are they? I didn't really get an answer there. Who are the Lions?
That's a precarious situation because you see a guy like Dan Campbell and the culture he set at Detroit, you would think a team like that is going to get better every single week as they get deeper. When the weather gets a little more, cold and guys are hurting a little bit more, that's the kind of culture Dan Campbell is set to be better. Dropping 2 out of the last 3, I don't understand it. I not for the life of me. It's just bad ball. I don't know if I've seen people say it's Jared Goff holding him back. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. He's played incredible at certain points, and maybe it's a consistency thing, but I wouldn't worry about the Lions. And it's one of those games you watch and you're like, that pisses me off because that's a good ball club. I tell you what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a look at 2022 and how they were doing at this time last year and then see kind of the differences in that situation, because that team has the capability of making a big run in the playoffs and being legit, but they just, for whatever reason, can't get it done right now.
Hamilton thinks it's the turnovers in defense. I don't know about the 2022, but Hammers here, what is it? Their defense sort of fell apart.
Yeah, to start the season, their defense was playing really well, and they've had trouble stopping teams, getting teams off the field over the last couple of weeks.
Taylor, you know who they have? You know who they have this week? Talk about culture, and talk about a guy who knows Dan Campbell, who gave Dan Campbell a job in New Orleans, and on his way to he's got Sean Payton. He's got Sean Payton on those Broncos this week in Detroit.
And who said the Broncos are going to get hot? Who said that? I did.
This dude, you did not. I did. I set you up to dunk that. Whatever.
I've been absolutely flip flopping like a stack of pancakes on the show, dude. I said Sean Payton is not the coach, and now I've been saying he's the coach.
He who does not give a declarative answer on anything. I'm going to text Peyton Manning today and say, if you get a straight answer out of Taylor Lewan today, I will retire.
Yeah. Good luck, Peyton. Good luck. It's going to be a hell of a deal, though. Mannycast. How about that?
Tell me.
Listen. Let's talk about the Broncos real quick.
Okay.
I think the Broncos are a legit team. We talked last week about them making the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. That's a legit football club. I was wrong about Sean Payton. And they've won, 6 in a row, 6 of the last 7. I have no idea. They're doing real things.
They lost to CJ Stroud, and then but now they're feeling themselves. And
all of a sudden the Texans falling apart against the Jets. What's going on? Football, man. It's a wild world we live in.
Can you do that for me on the broadcast? Just be like, football, man.
Bro, here we are.
Bros, it's football. Tell me about Manningcast. So you and Will are going to join. Do you know what do we know? What are we excited about?
So I think we're going to be on in the third quarter. I'm not sure, but we'll be bouncing back and forth on those 2 games, dude. Sitting down with the sheriff and his brother, it's going to be fun. My plan?
Yeah.
Try to pit those 2 against each other. That's my goal.
Smart.
Try to get them chirping a little bit back and forth. Because if you look at it statistically, Eli might be a better quarterback in the Super Bowl. He's 2-0 versus 2-2. Just think about that, okay?
Wow.
Think about it.
Let me tell you, not hard to get those 2 jawing against each other. Let me just give you my little advice. Not hard to get those 2 riled up, and I cannot wait to see that, guys, tonight on Manningcast, the Bussin' with the Boys. I'm going to call it the takeover of Omaha Productions and that broadcast on ESPN2 during the game. Third quarter appearance. That's when I came on, so it's good. Like this is all good juju and good energy. Let's talk about these Texans, or at least this AFC South, right? Tough day for your former division. Colts, Texans, Jags all lose. Trevor dealing with the ankle injury. Stroud, they're falling apart. He leaves the game with a concussion. Colts still, they're riding with Minshew still. Which team are you most concerned with in this division moving forward?
The team I'm most concerned with is the Titans. They need to, but I need them to lose. Like as a fan, I want them to lose so bad. I think if Jaguars can get Trevor Lawrence's ankle healthy, they're going to be just fine. I think the Colts, they're like the Steelers to me. Like they're winning. They have a winning record, but I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here, And then the Texans, CJ's my boy, dude. He's probably my favorite rookie in the entire NFL, being an Ohio State guy, which is just crazy to think about. But if I'm everybody in that division except for the Jags, I'm thinking just lose. Better draft pick. Let's look to the future, boys. Let's figure that whole thing out. If I'm CJ Stroud, go and sit out the rest of the year, brother. It was good. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But now let's get a top 15 pick and move on.
I mean, for the Jags, the defense getting ripped apart by Browning and Flacco back-to-back weeks. Like that's a little bit concerning for me if I'm a Jacksonville Jags fan.
Yeah, that seeing Flacco, go out there and, basically a walker being 38 years old throwing that many touchdowns is should never happen against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not the Saxonville they used to be, but if you want to be successful in the playoffs, you got to have a good defense, and they're not doing that right now. Trevor Lawrence needs to be healthy for them to be successful.
Are you going to name drop The Rock on the Manningcast tonight? Are you going to say?
Are you talking about my boy, Dwayne?
What's going on there? What's going on between you and Dwayne Johnson?
I don't know,
How did this happen?
So when was the first time something happened? The Rock followed me on Instagram, and I was like, yo, what? So I sent him like this DM, like, hey, brother, appreciate the follow. Love what you do, man, blah, 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 blah. And a month goes by. And then all of a sudden, I get a voice memo from The Rock, and it's 43 seconds long. He's like, my brother, how we doing, man? Hope you're good. He sees what you're doing. You love what you're doing. Congrats on your amazing career. Doesn't know I haven't retired yet. That's okay. Talks about sipping tequila together. And I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Now I've DM'd him back, and I'm like, hey, brother, would love to have you on the show. Our dime, wherever your schedule, let's do whatever you want, Rock. We will fly to you. We will go wherever you want. We'll hit the Iron Paradise. We'll come at 4 a.m. We'll get a lift in with you. We'll do whatever you want. We just want to have you on the show, brother. The guy's a stud, an absolute stud.
Well,
So to answer your question straightly, Kay, I have no idea what's going on with me in the Rock.
Just go with it. Listen, Gronk comes on our show and he asked for Will Ferrell. You think I wasn't surprised when Will Ferrell agreed to come on? I was like, what? Huh? And you just kind of go with it, and maybe it'll work out, and hopefully we get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the bus, but not before I get to come on the bus, right? You
need to come on for sure. Absolutely.
When is that happening?
I'm thinking Super Bowl. I'm thinking Super Bowl.
Are y'all taking the bus to the Super Bowl?
We will be in Las Vegas, Nevada for the week. I don't know if our actual bus will be there, but there is a seat and a microphone waiting for you to come on our show.
We love this. Okay, you've got your Titans and your Dolphins tonight. You've got Giants, Packers. Pick the games. Who you got?
Packers and the Dolphins.
Packers.
Unfortunately, I hate saying it. It's just business. It's just business. Yeah, it's just what has to happen. It's for the betterment of the franchise of the Titans. We need to lose.
What are you most like? If you're after watching yesterday's games, obviously the Chiefs thing's a little shocking just because it is Mahomes and company, and it is Veach, and it is Big Red and all of that. Is there something that's like standing out to you as like what was going on in this NFL? Anything we didn't hit today?
To me, it seems like the two teams in Ohio are surprising me right now. The Bengals, I can't believe they didn't roll over die. It says so much about their culture, the way they're playing at a high level. And then the Browns, man, I think it's so cool to see Joe Flacco get on the field and throw the ball and just dice up defenses the way he has. I think it's just a cool storyline for the NFL. You know me and my storylines. I love it. Everything's a movie out here.
Taylor, you're saying sweet things about Ohio?
Yeah, here I am. Here I am. I don't have to live there, so it's all good.
We call that growth.
Absolutely.
Look at you. I mean, the Browns,
I think it's beautiful.
I'm looking right now. They're the 5 seed in the AFC. They've had so many changes, especially at the quarterback position. It's insane. So, yeah, super impressive for all of that. All right, and on that note, do you want to say hi to Deshaun Jackson on your way out? Deshaun Jackson on the show after this break. You guys, is D-Jax here? What up? Oh, gosh, look at how cool.
What's up, brother? Good to see you.
You instantly don't look cool, Taylor. Your coolness just left the building.
The Vipers and the neon sign in the back, dude. You look cool. Congratulations on being awesome in every way.
All right, likewise, brother.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right here. Do it now for the latest from Up and Adams.